And here is the source. That means I want to read the data. So the easier way is someone already help you to format the data. So you guys have two different data sets. So we click the Excel and put it into this empty area. And also we try to put this one, VAR file. That means the file for each line of the text data is a different length, but with a common structure. So we put it here. Okay? Then let's try to open it with CSV, because in real world, no one will help you translate into Excel file. You need to read it with the plain text, and you need to define every field. So we open it. So let me do it again. You put the VAR file into this area and double click it. And with this area file, you click browse here. Browse our notepad, same as we see in the notepad. And so here we have a lot of options to define this CSV file. So the first one is read field name from file. If I uncheck this, that means there is no
field
definition of the field. You should define by yourself. If I uncheck this and go to the data, you see the field is like a field 1, 2, 3, 4 because there is no name on it. However, if I check this, that means the text file, no matter how long the text file, the first line is define the variable name. So I should see like this. Okay? But this is not what we expected. The first couple field, like show ID, type, title, direction, text, country, date added, release year, rating, duration, this is description. All this is okay, but this S1 TV shows 3% is not right.
Yes.
Let's belong to the second line or the third line. So that is because we did not define the CSV file right. So because we have the data like this, let's see the last row in this file is Ted Chen, Stella Chong, Hensley here. This I believe is director, the name of the director. However, this file we have several directors, so they use the comma to separate the director. And this comma will confuse with the title director. So we use comma to separate each variable. At the same time, we use comma to separate one variable with different name. So we need to separate the two kinds. So that is the quote. We have the double quote to separate it. So we have this option on the right corner here, quote, single quote or double quote. So before we check from Notepad, it's a double quote, right?
Yes.
So I want to tell this VAR file tool said I want to define its pair and discard it. That means each quote, like Ted Chen, Stella, I want to separate with a pair to the Benjamin name. This two code is a pair. So I want to use it as a whole, as a single variable. And when I import it, I don't need the quote. So I choose pair and discard. And if we go back to check the data, then it's so clean. Right? Correct data. So I click OK. And then I just want to have a grip to see if the record is correct. So we have a source, record operation, the operation. We have output. So let's select the output. And then put a table in it. So you can click and move your mouse into the empty area and click again, and it will move up. Or you can just double click. And when you double click, it will automatically connect with the data source. It's Netflix. Okay? So be careful when you dealing with real data. Because there will be, in this file, there will be millions of data. You cannot see the whole data. So one way to have you want to have a simple idea of how the data looks like. You can put a sample in between. So here we have the 1, 2, 3. The third pen is called record operation. Here we have a sample. I can put the sample here. So the logic of the model is you tell the story. First, I want to do this, and second one, and third. And the arrow, just the data, how the data flow. Okay, so I want to put a sample in between. Finally, I want to show the result. So I can use your middle of the mouse, the wheel, but not roll the wheel. You push the wheel over the arrow. Sorry, you push and
drag it.
Pull and release. Then I put the tool in between. Then how would you like to sample the data? You should tell the modeler this one originally is 7,000 records, and now I just want to check the data if it's correct or not. So I click the sample, and then you have a different choice. The first one is I want to read the first couple row, and the second option is I want to read 1 in N. That means every 10 records. 1 in every 10 records.
1 in every 10 records.
Or I want to read it 1 in 100. Okay? So we have 7,000 of records. We have I want to pick every 100 for 1 record. So we will result in less than 100.
Okay. That's a random sampling.
It's not random.
Non-random.
Why I'm not choosing the random percentage? It's a different purpose. Okay? The first is simple. That is because when you read the data, the first couple columns you might not facing with some problem. Okay? If you choose random, that means you don't assign which record I want to read it. And if the on the top, let me go back to the data. It looks like this, right? If on the top is right, then you choose the first 10. You will think it's okay. If you choose random, then it will pick random row in. You probably okay, but with some structural error. That means from the 21.9, there will be some problem, or from the 35, there will be some problems. You probably will not face with the problem. So I choose to like a sequential every 10 or every 100. Then I have some chance to check if the data is correct. Okay, so that, but if you want to do some modeling, then you cannot use this one. That is because, like if my data is ordering by the age, then every 10, that probably means I will choose the age of 21, and the next one is age of 31, and the third one is age of 41. It's not totally, it's not random, because we are not sure if the data is ordering random or is with some order. Mm-hmm. So with this option, that means in different situation you want to pick a different method to have to complete your idea.
Okay. In methodology, we're talking about the system.
100, I have one sample, and I can have an idea of the whole data set if there are any problem with the like the first hundreds or the fifth hundreds with maybe with some problem. And this with this kind of sampling is good. Okay, so we just use your right mouse to click the table and then run it. So you can see it's a S100, S200, S300, S400, right?
Yep.
Then we can have a very good confidence that is because the show ID tells us we just pick every hundredth of the record. And this kind of observation you cannot see if you pick the other sampling method like a random. I want to pick a random 1% of the record. It will result in the same number of records. However, the result will be like this. The ID is really a random number. Okay, so if you want to practice, you can put two different sampling here. So I will put 2. And then I will put another table here. Okay? Then that's two different kinds of sampling. And I save it. So I 那个度假我把它存起来，然后让大家可以主要的看。
Okay. No, 没有关系，哎，哎，把它存起来。Set at another example, but I suppose no problem. Two kinds of sampling. Okay, one is a system sampling, one is a rendering sampling. Yeah, but that's only based on you have a big data. Okay. As I know, engineering, agriculture you can have, but if you do the experiment design, no, this is impossible. Especially for veterinary college, 像兽医系他们就很难有大。
I put the stream. I just show you, and you can, if you do want to practice and you want to check and compare, you can download it. You can have a grip of the data. Then, so we can see there are some type, some movie that with empty director, right? And then can anyone tell me why there is no director?
It's a TV show.
Seeing the data.
This is a
TV show.
Okay. Not a movie.
Yeah. So if there are TV shows with director, or if there are movies without director, how can you check the data? So we observe, we see, look like a TV shows without director.
Yes.
Then let me ask you a question. Is there any TV shows with director? So if you want to check the TV show, you want to read all the TV show, right?
Yes.
To check it. So when we observe like this, I can click the TV show. And then, because this is interactive, we find out something my interest is. So I find a TV show maybe with some, I want to have a deep look with TV shows. So I click the TV show, and then you select generate. I want to generate a tool to help me to select all the TV shows. Okay?
Okay.
So here I click the generate, and then I generate a select node. Is a record or and or. With these two options, is not usable so far, and then later I will show you how this is used. So I just use so we ignore the record or and or. We have two different kinds of generation. The top three is select node. The bottom three is derived node. Okay? So let me show you the first one is a select node, and we select. I do it again. I click the TV show, so it's a highlight here. Then I click generate, and then select node. Nothing happened. It's we will generate. So I close this table. You see this one? This is the one we generate from the previous procedures. And this one, you can also pick up from here.
Select, yeah.
Okay? The only difference is like, let me put the here. This one is I choose this from the toolbox. This one is automatic generate. The difference is this one, the condition is empty. And this one, it tell me I want to select show ID equal to X 2700, and all the condition is here. Okay? If I put it into here and connect it, and then I show you the result. It's only one record.
Yes.
That's the meaning of this. when I click TV show and then I generate select node record, that means I just select the 7th record. Okay? Then if I want to select a TV show and also with the director, you can select and control click. So if I want to select a single TV show, it's like a select TV show, select movie. So let me do it first. Select TV show and generate. Let's try this one. And we close it. This one is also generated. This one is let me rename it so you won't confuse it. So if you want to edit your tool, you just right click your mouse and edit and annotations. Then I say this one is the conditions we want to select a single record. And this one is only I want to select all the records with type equal to TV show. Okay? So I can put a notation here. That means select for the TV show. I put it here and put another table here and lock. Then we have all the TV shows here, and we also know that there are on the top. There are 2,410 records of all the TV shows. And then I will ask another question. We believe before from sampling data, we believe the TV show will not have director, and then we see not actually right because we see some TV shows with director, right? So let me ask another question. So how many TV shows or how much percentage of the TV show with the director? How can you do that? So maybe I just click an empty one director. And now I don't want to generate a select node. I would like to generate a derived node. So let's just click any empty one. And then I generate derived node. Either and or you can pick any one. And I will explain it later. So I just derived node and then we can close it and come back. So here we have a different tool pop up. And the same, we can choose it from sphere operator here. This one. This one. This two they are the same. The only difference is you choose it from the toolbox, then he don't know, the tool don't know what you want to do, so it's all empty. Okay? But if this one is generated from the way you think, generated from the data, so the tool knows I want to create another field. It's called selected. And the selected is so simple. I just want to check if the director is equal to empty. So here is automatic generate. You can do it simply type in here. So my first, and then you can say I want to create a variable is only two value, true or false. Then is a flag. So I will create a data is called my first field, and the value of true is t, the value of false is f, and you have to tell the modeler what condition is true. So here is the true when some conditions meet. So you click the calculator on your right hand side and then click it. Here you need to put your script, put your condition here. So you can see you have a lot of choice. And you need to put in something. However, it's so difficult because you don't have any ideas. You should put something like this. You should put this. So I just copy. And I paste it here. Okay. So this one is screw edit, and this one I changed the name so you can easier to catch.
You can select some direct special name. Okay. You can select some specific director name.
Okay, so let me explain it. You might be confused why I choose this tool from the field operation, and I choose it from here. It's a select. So let me show you the difference. We have is this okay so far? Okay, it's a drawing pen, something you already know you can delete it, so you can click and delete, or you can select and delete. Okay, so we have I want to explain you the difference of these two tools. Oh, I made a mistake. Let me open it again. I close the stream and I'm not saving it, and then I open the stream back. So this one is select a single record, and this one is select all the TV shows. So I will keep this, and all the rest. And this one is automatic generate. And this one is the one I just copy the generate script and do the same thing. Okay? And then let's see the difference. So let's have some number in our mind. So I show you I show you, but it's maybe you already know how to use it. So we have a graph, and then I want to check the distributions of the data of the field that's a type, and I run it. We have totally 2,400 TV show and 5,300 movies. Okay, that's the basic statistic. Then, if I, rather than directly plot it, if I plot it like this, so I want to change the path of the data flow. Originally, I just read all the data and the data flow to the graph tool. Then I want to check if this method is correct. So I don't want this direct path. I want the data move into the select node and then pass to here. So we have a warning message that said you cannot connect it to a target node already connected. That means I want to replace this arrow to this one. So I just replace it. So the data, our second one. This is the 100% TV shows. When I put this here and then here, the result is different. So then you put 2 and then you can compare. I just copy it. So you right click it and then you copy and then paste. And then you connect. So I want to tell you the difference of these two nodes. This is an arrow with a question mark. That means I want to use the conditions to filtering out the data. So if I exclude this, is 2,400. And this one is called derived node. Even though they are generated from the same table, but they have different meanings. And also they locate in different toolbox. The select is from record operations. This one is from field operation. Okay? And this I want to show the type, the distribution of type. Here, I want to show the distribution of type. However, the result is different. That is because from this path, I don't filter out any record. I just put a tool here. This tool means I want to add 1. You see the plus.
Yeah.
Right? The plus means I want all the data flow to the next step. So this is all the data flow. And also I want to add another one to the flow. So which one is it?
The direct.
Is this one, the right field. So actually the name of this field is TV show.
No directory.
Yeah.
Directory is
No.
But it cannot be.
It's
It can
but
be
directory
the
is
same.
empty.
yes.
It's not about just TV show. It's TV and movie. TV
It's,
show and movie.
visual and movie, but director is empty.
Yeah.
Okay. So if I
That's
put this is their director and I run, it will show me there are the
exact.
oh,
So 2,300.
true means empty,
Empty. 2,309.
and
Yeah.
this is
The movies.
not necessary movie.
Movies and TV show with a director.
This one it tells us
Just director.
Yeah.
if the record with director or not.
Yeah.
Yes. And we can combine these two. So let me delete it. And I move it here.
Okay.
So I just want to check all the TV shows
Yes.
with or without director.
Yes. Yes.
So the true is 2000, and you can see it's confusing, right?
Just a little bit.
Yeah. So we can modify the direct. We can modify this. I don't want the equal to empty. It's true. It should be first,
Yeah. True.
right? So maybe you can change it to not equal to.
Different.
So we have all set
Not
of
equal.
true here.
Not equal.
This
The
one.
last one.
No, no. This one.
This one is not equal to. Okay?
Yes.
So then I,
Select. You can change it.
oh sorry,
Number.
I change it to not equal
Not
to.
equal.
So what is this? Equal.
No. More or less.
Oh, more. Less or more.
Then,
Oh, the red this
then
side.
I run.
Not in the input.
Exactly.
Is this correct?
Yeah.
So we have only 180 with director in TV shows. And
Yes.
we have 2,000 without director.
Let's see.
So it's very easy to
Yeah.
explore your data, but it's very important in real world because you need to understand maybe
Information.
some trap in your data. You totally forgot, and I want to analyze the director, and I'm happy with the result. And finally, you find out
Yes.
all the show is only 10% with director, then you have a big problem.
Okay, that's a simple practice for logical description in syntax. Okay, maybe you can type in some syntax in logical.
Actually, that's data exploration.
TV show and with or without director.
With director or without director. Okay? And I will put this I say exploratory data analysis.
You know the practice, right? Type